B.
Representing for my brother BMT.
Got my man Austin in the building. What up, bro?
What's good?
Travel is life.
This how we roll. Look, I just have to get off the elevator. Look at it. The BMT shirt on. You know, we representing all the way in Thailand, man.
This shirt is so dope, man. It shows up your guns, fits your muscles, gives you room at the bottom for the belly, and then you repping the BMT brand, man. So make sure y'all pick up that BMT shirt because it's fire. It looks good. We got them in different colors, and I'm telling y'all, man, the fit, it ain't that cheap bullshit. It's a real quality shirt, man. I love it, BMT. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for blessing me with the shirt, and I'll see you on the other side. You dig?
Yeah, go cop the new merch.
All right, and we are live. Welcome, family, to another show. It is your man BMT in the building. Let me get my facts right real quick. I do have a return guest on the show. We're discussing how to make money abroad. This is a big topic in the Passportbros community. Guys are always asking me, "Hey, man, how you finance yourself while living abroad?" A lot of guys want to, work remote. And I have a very talented guest here today. He was actually on a stream interview last week, and people blew his Instagram up. They blew him up. Asked them questions and everything. So I said, man, you got to come on the show again, brother. And so now I'm going to go ahead and bring on Thomas Brown.
What's good, what up, fellas? What's up, Aaron? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, man. They blew you up, huh?
They was in it, bro. I showed you on the screen. I felt like one of them celebrities because it was like bling, 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 bling. I was just scrolling through it. But then what I started noticing was over time, people was hitting me asking, and I could hear that they were like, yo, I need to get out of the game. I need to get in the game and get out of the game. And I was just like, yo, man, I was like, I'm glad you and I talked. I was like, we need to tell them what we know, at least what we know, to kind of help them out because I didn't realize they really, really want out. So I was just like, okay, all right, I'll share some stuff that I've done to get to where I'm at and some stuff they probably never thought about. And I'm sure you got a bunch to share too. And definitely, I'm sure you always ask the best questions too that make me answer in a good way. So we'll give it a shot. I hope I help.
Yeah, man, most definitely. So tell us, where exactly are you now, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm still in Kuala Lumpur. I'm still here in Malaysia but I'm sitting next to the window. I wish you guys could see. I got those KL towers. I'm on the 40th floor, and those towers probably go up another 40. It's dumb. You probably can't see this. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, we can definitely see that. Hold on, let me put you on the big screen real quick. Yeah,
that's the view.
That view.
That's the view from my bedroom. The KL towers right there, bro.
Man, that's nice.
And then this square one, I don't know if you can see that. That's the W Hotel. But yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I'm chilling right now.
Okay, so for people that missed part one, just give us a little light rundown of all the countries you've been to so far and how long you've been traveling overseas.
We'll just give some chunks of it. I am not a specific traveler, meaning when I travel in the beginning, it literally was like something I saw on Instagram and I was like, let me go check that out. Like that was how I did St. Francis. I saw someone sit next to those Piton volcanoes. And I was like, I'm going to find that. And it was kind of like a fun adventure. And I found it. I found the resort and everything. And then I posted it. My IG went crazy. My friends went crazy. My friends are more chatty than likes. They don't hit like as much as they chat, But then I just kind of kept going. And really, honestly, what got me stuck in it the most was every time I went somewhere, it recharged me no matter what I was going through back home. No matter what, even the bad trip. And what I mean by the bad trip is like in the beginning, you don't know how to travel. You don't know how to pick your Airbnbs. You don't know how to pick your hotels. You don't know little things like if you land at 8 a.m., you can't check in till 2 p.m. So you didn't prepare for that.
Oh, man, that's the big one.
Yeah. Or that's like some places some places like you land really late and you can check in your hotel, but you hungry, but you can't go get anything to eat. You know, so you have to learn. You have to learn if you land late, you check in a hotel. If you land in the midday, you can go to an Airbnb and get your ass to the grocery store first. Fill up and then go play. And then when you go home and you're on jet lag and you wake up at 3 a.m. where everything's closed, you got food. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of kept doing that and kept moving and moving. And then it just slowly started sinking in because I was living big time back home. I was doing it how everybody says they want to do it. And I know it sounds cliche, but I wasn't happy, man. I wasn't. I had it all, bro. I had it all. And I even had American chicks. And I just was like, all of y'all that are any decent with girls know, even if you got chicks and they're American chicks, it's still a terrible experience. Do you know what I mean? It's a terrible experience.
Hey,
And
I want to go back real quick because you said something real important because you be dropping so many gems. You said one of the steps is when you check in your Airbnb is go to the grocery store first.
Immediately, right? Yes.
And I remember taking one of my guys, shout out to my dude Tommy Lynch. You know, I was helping him get settled in Thailand, and the very first thing we did was, hey, bro, let's go to the grocery store. Let's load up that refrigerator first.
Makes life easy.
It's gonna save you so much money and time. I mean, we know you got the order a thing. Yep. Every country got this, service where you can order, food online, but
at 3 or 4 in the morning, it's not right. It's not the same. Yeah,
right. But it's like an extra bill you don't have to have. And then if you go to the actual store, especially when the local shop, you'll save so much money on your food bill by just eating in every day, which gives you more money to party.
And for the promoters, I don't know how many group trips are going on. I'm probably going to try to help change that, but I don't know how many group trips are going on. The promoter, the group trip person, I'm going to tell you 2 things that'll make your life super easy doing group trips. Whatever house you get, if you're sharing it, or make sure it's got a pool. That is like the equalizer, peacemaker. There's always someone that's up before everybody sitting by the pool reading their book. There's always someone, like the second person goes out, sees them chat. And the other thing, you know how our people are. They don't like to get up. But if you have a place that offers free breakfast, they will get up, every single one of them. Every single one of them. And it starts your day. So all your planning, everything works out. But that's just a little side note.
Hey, hold on. I gotta put a little sauce on that. Another reason to get a good pool because women love the pool too in any country.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah. Because when I went to the DR, I did Casa de Campo, and I got this super bougie house. It had a tea pool in it, and I was telling everyone, I was like, that's my initial, right? But we took like 3 of those like bougie baddie girls, and they gave us free skeet shooting, and the girls weren't into it. So the fellas, we took off with our little cigars and went and played golf and skeet shot. We stayed gone 8 hours, forgot about the chicks, came back, they were still in the pool. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Like the first thing I remember having a pool in the DR, this is a couple years ago, and we had some chicas come over, and before I could even turn around, they had already went to the pool. They was already in the pool. Like I'm like,
pictures everywhere.
They already in the pool.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I want to give a shout out to my dude Tommy Lynch. He says, "Thank you for the consultation. It helped me in such an amazing way." Shout out to my dude Tommy Lynch, man. Shout out to him. Did a consultation, man. I love seeing, helping brothers move. Get overseas and everything.
I mean, I took a couple, I took 2 of my homies out of Salt Lake City on the trip with me. One I took to Dublin and one I took to Budapest. And it literally changed their entire life. Like they see everything different now. They were the most touched, obviously, by the beauty of the girls and the non-entitledness of it. But my one buddy, he's got stupid dough. He owns a towing company in Idaho that pulls like semis out. Bro, the company's worth like 33 mil. But he's like super cheap. He's like super cheap. Like I've yelled at him, said, buy a car or something, buy a truck. You gotta. I know you don't want to like appease these girls, but you have to a little bit. You can't live in a trailer with $33 million, And he looked in Budapest, and I don't know if you guys saw a long time ago, I put up a video of my Airbnb in Budapest that was $50 a night, and this thing was fire.
Mm-hmm.
And when he saw that, and when he went and stayed, and he saw how we stayed, that blew his mind because he's cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say he's cheap, but he's cheap because he's got stupid money. He just won't spend anything. But when he saw that value, he's already looking into buying a complex out there. Like that living. I mean, it changed every aspect of his life. I think this travel thing is where it's at.
Yeah, man, and it will. Like it's some big dynamics, and you look at the world a whole lot differently when you get outside of the United States.
Oh yeah. And I mean, someone just put up today, literally, like we're ranked like 47th in the United States for healthcare.
40. Yep. Shout out to my dude Andre Love Crossing Borders. He be on stuff like that. But yeah,
why would we even want to be there?
47.
Oh, our education was 157th. I saw it today. That is terrible. There's only 100.
That's the ranking. That's the rank. Okay, in the world, we 100.
Yeah, there's only like 190 countries. We're the worst.
Damn. You know what? One of those big things is, and I know you experienced this before, but let me catch a super chat real quick. I want to give a shout out to my dude Kirby P Films for $10 super chat. Says good morning, BMT. What's good, bro? Can't wait to run into you when you come on out here. So shout out to you. Appreciate the $10 super chat. But I'm pretty sure you experienced being around other cultures of people, right? Say Russians or people from Turkish, and they start speaking. They all speak English, right? They start speaking a different language, and you feel like as an American, you're like, damn, they speak like 3 languages.
Everybody does.
And then I ask you, especially if you're dating a foreign woman, she'll be like, yeah, Aaron, how many languages do you speak? And I'll be like, shit. One.
You like, does Ebonics count?
Right, 1.5. I speak a little Spanish too, but for the
Spanglish.
most part, yeah, they take their language learning very seriously. I was in a party yesterday, a rooftop party, and I met this Afro Latina, and she was just like, she speaks Spanish, Portuguese, and English, so she's already on 3 languages.
Oh, Portuguese is hard too.
I'm like, how did you learn all those languages? She's like, oh, I just went to school. I'm like, what type of school teaches all these damn languages?
Listen, bro, I'm going to Barcelona. I'm going back to Barcelona. I'm literally going to pay for college for school. For language. I'm literally, because what hit me was I started saying, all right, how do I want to date these girls? What would make it better for me? I realized if they got multiple languages, my kids got 3 times more opportunity with 3 different languages. So I was like, yo, hold on. I need to be an example of that too. And I'm a businessman, and how do I not know other? Like, I should speak Chinese for sure. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, all right, man. I'm probably gonna head back to Barcy, kick it with my boy Vlad, who's Russian and speaks Spanish, Russian, and English, of course.
Right.
And homeboy, he's doing some work for my social media. Homeboy does social media for Nike, bro, in Russia. Like, yo, we ain't as dope as we think. He's like 24 years old.
Yeah.
Like we think we're the best in America. You can tell the vibrato when you read stuff in the group. And I'm like, bro, I know he ain't traveling because some of these people out here got education. Like, they got skills.
Most definitely,
America's
man.
good with money.
I got the first question of the day. You know you're gonna get plenty during the show by Saint Cyr. Appreciate that. He says, does bro have a YouTube?
I don't yet, and everyone's been after me about that. So I don't know if you can see. You guys are gonna laugh. Here's my tech stack. Okay, I got the gear, but I haven't started it yet. But I'm gonna start it here in KL because people just don't understand what's here. Like my realtor, he's been, but he doesn't want to be on camera right now. But he's been taking me around the town, and like I said, every mall here is like Fendi, Dior, whatever, like every mall. And he's like, oh, this is the poor people mall. And I was like, whatever, bro. I'm tired of people talking all that smack, whatever, bro. And because I'm like, what goes higher than that? There's a Richard Mille store right there, right? So we walked about 5 miles out. My feet was hurting. I said, yo, I don't want to walk 5 miles back. So we were going to take a shortcut. I think it was called Star Hill Mall. We walk in there and he's like, this is the rich person's mall. And I was like, what? The second you walk through the door, I was like, oh my God, he's not lying. And you could just feel it. And they was running runway shows like every day, like for Fendi, like, and I mean those real models. And then we found a Davidoff lounge. Everyone knows Davidoff is like the brand, right? But then they said there's a private lounge upstairs. So we went up and they had this liquor place and they had a humidor. And they had 3 private lounges that cost $2,000 a day to smoke in.
Wow.
Now, they call ringgits dollars here. So let's say I misinterpreted that. Okay. If you flip that to dollars, it's still $500. And I was like, I got to see these. So they showed us these lounges. Bro, if you're doing any business, you go in there, that's a super flex. Then they got a membership. They got a membership. And I thought nobody would pay. And there was a room with like 10 Chinese dudes in it. I said, okay, bro, like there's people about it. But the better deal, and it won't work for me because I don't smoke enough and I don't drink at all. But they have a 50,000 ringgit membership, which is a $10,000. Okay. But what happens is they deduct from that 10,000 every drink, every smoke that you have. So if you're doing like a big time meeting, like you're a developer or something, you take them in there and let them drink and smoke whatever they want. They just deduct it. So you're not paying anymore. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Anyways.
Excellent, man. So in your travels, I know I ran into guys that most guys I know living abroad are either ex-military, so they like either retired on some type of form of disability. Then I got my IT guys. You got a lot of guys, of course, that can work from their laptops, work remotely. Then you got cats like me, YouTubers and stuff. When you run across other guys living abroad, other Americans or passport bros, what do they say they do for a living?
I don't. Most of them are IT guys. I was the one like black sheep that just was always an entrepreneur. And over the years, I started turning things towards getting me more and more free. And so I'd probably be able, I wrote some stuff down to share about like some really unsexy businesses that make good money. And they are businesses that need you there for a time until you build a team. And some of those I think are good businesses for people to have. Like you don't have to go straight IT. You can run a full-fledged business, but you just got to have a business you can build a team behind and you can be gone. If that makes sense, you can be gone later. So, I mean, ask away, ask kind of what you're thinking, and I'll start from there and kind of tell you what I've seen, what I've done myself. Because there's a lot of stuff that you can just turn that into something that gives you freedom.
So what like one of the main businesses would be like that?
Okay, so before I do that, let me preface with how money has to be viewed. Okay.
Okay.
Money has to be viewed as cash flow. Okay. Because like a lot of people, like my little bro, he owns a car lot and he's always talking to me like, yo, we did $100,000, $200,000 in sales, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but what's your overhead, bro? I know how much you're paying. So he makes like $6,000 a month on a good month. So I'm like, don't talk to me about that 100K. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the cash flow is what you live on. So whatever money, cash flow for me means whatever money that you have every month that you can spend and it'll replenish itself. Okay. In some way, it'll replenish itself. Maybe you have to sell more, but cash flow, not how much you sold this for, because people like to talk about that. But you sell something for 100,000, but you owe 99,000 on it. That's nothing. You made $1,000. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right. Got you.
So when I say look at it from a view of cash flow, then you look at your businesses in a way of cash flow, and you'll find out some of the unsexiest businesses in the world got mad high cash flow. All right. So I wrote down here, I said unsexy businesses. So these are things just to think about, because I thought, what is it that these brothers can really legit get into? Okay. Mailboxes is the first one I put on there.
Okay, hold on. Let me put that in there.
Mailboxes, like a mailboxes, etc. Whatever. You get a little commercial spot, doesn't need to be big, like the size of a barbershop, and you buy those little mailboxes, and you rent those out, and you can run the place with one employee, but you're renting them out for $12 a month, $24 a month, $100 a month for the big ones. Do the math. You can hold 300, 400 mailboxes in there. And you just got one person running that. You don't never got to be there after you get that built. And no one says that you got to stop at one. It's not sexy. And I know I'm saying that because I know these brothers want sexy. They want to say, oh, I'm swagging out with this business. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what my mentor said because I used to think like that. I got a mentor that sold his plumbing and air conditioning company for $100 million. And he saw me struggling over these businesses because I didn't like them because they didn't have swag to them. And he looked at me and he said, T Brown, nobody cares what you do if you pull up in a Rolls Royce. That's what he said. And I was
That's real.
And I was like, what you mean? He goes, you think that I wanted to run a plumbing and air conditioning business? It's like, no. And he's like, but I cashed out for 100 mil. Nobody cares. They see that Rolls. They see that S550 that I pull up in, right? They see the Aston. That's it. And then he said, then you take the money. So he says, find something that makes money, squeeze the hell out of it, and then use that money to do the sexy businesses if you want. But if this one makes money, it makes money. It does not matter. So I was like, okay.
So instead of like, because a lot of guys want to open up bars and clubs.
They want swag. They want swag.
Yeah, they want. Exactly. So you're saying basically do something like, mailboxes, commercial mailboxes or something like that first.
Yeah.
To get your money, get some cash flow coming in.
Because it's an easy business. Where do you have to go? It's like, it's no different than owning 300 pieces of real estate, except for it's all in one little building. You see what I'm saying? And there's no maintenance. There's no air conditioning per unit. There's no yard work. There's no HOA. There's no light bulbs. It's just one. You see what I'm saying? So that's like the first one that I saw. That one of my
real quick before you move on to the second one, I got a funny story about the mailboxes because I actually had a friend of mine who was doing a UPS franchise. So you can do that with UPS franchise, right? Yeah. But UPS, you know how franchises are, the fees and everything. They kind of lock you into the services that you have to get. So he was like, damn this, I'm not doing this. You know what he did? He did the McDowell strategy. You know what the McDowell strategy is, right?
No, tell me.
Okay, Coming to America. Remember McDowell's? It was supposed to be McDowell's.
Yeah. Okay.
My brother took the UPS. He took all the UPS branded stuff off and just turned it into another name and say, "The hell with y'all."
A regular courier. Yeah.
Right. He became a regular courier, just like that. And UPS can do nothing about it. Okay. So that's just
now,
a little tip.
I'm going to get to some sexy stuff. I just want to do it at the end. Because I know people are going to jump on that. And some of those are harder. I want some of the sensible guys to look at it and say, you know what, let me go ahead and do this because it's solid, right?
Okay.
So the other two is car washes are big, bro. And I'm not talking about those automatic. I'm saying the old school spray down car wash. If you live in a place that's hot all the time or it's mostly summer, like I lived in Arizona, those things go crazy, bro. And they're like $2-3, and everybody in Arizona got some fly whip. They care, but what people don't know is like I had 2 cars that were wrapped. You cannot take a wrapped car to an automatic car wash. You don't want to do it. And then if you take it to a detail shop, you still don't know because they so fast that they be getting their little buttons from their pants and stuff on your car. You want to wash your own. And in Scottsdale, where I live, those ones also had a hand dryer in it. So I was like, yo, just change it a little bit. But I got talking to the guy that owned that, and I was like, yo, would you ever sell this? And he was like, hell no. And I was like, why? I want this thing. And he told me that he was doing like $250K from that one car wash. And he's like, I only got to come by at the end of the day and clean out the money, the cash machines, the cash machines and the coin machines. And he tokenized things. And then he had to like refill his vending machine where there was the rags and all that sort of stuff in there. But he wouldn't. And I was like, yo, this is it. But so on the flip side, I actually helped my niece's boyfriend open this business here. Get a vending machine business. And the reason I say that is because with today's technology, they let you know when they're getting close to empty on their own. So you have the software to track your stuff, okay? And what I've learned from it with him, you have to learn your area, but he put them all in warehouses. He went to industrial areas. He worked at a warehouse, saw that they needed one, put one there, and then went to all the other owners, right? He's getting these vending machines for $1,000, okay? Anyone can scratch up $1,000. We went to Costco in the beginning, and we got like chips and all this stuff, and it was okay. But what he started learning was like Monsters, Red Bulls, and all that. He was killing it, like 2x on his money. But he's doing about he's up to like 15 vending machines right now, and I think he's doing somewhere around $700 or $800 a day.
Nice.
Doesn't
Very
sound
nice.
like a lot, but it is a lot of money. That's a lot.
That's good money.
That's a lot. That's a lot of money.
Especially if you spending time overseas and you're still making money.
Well, see, and that's why I wanted to talk about it, because honestly, he's getting to the point now where he's going to hire one guy with a truck, just like you see the little Frito-Lay guy driving around. He's just going to hire one guy with a truck, and he's going to give him the software that's saying what needs to be, and he's going to have them go fill it, and that's it.
And he'll be able to do what he want to do.
Yeah, but see, and he's got the credit card terminal on there also, but since it's all digital, you ain't got to worry about them stealing your money. You know how much money you made already. Do you see what I'm saying? So he's just collecting the cash and depositing it, but you already know how much should show up in that deposit. So that's what I was just like, yo, we did not realize we hit a big jack. We hit a landmine with that one. Like that one was bomb. Okay, so if you have a little bit of money saved up, some people got some money saved up, they don't know what to do. You want to know what my first business was?
What's your first business?
My first business was a pool cleaning business in Arizona.
Pool cleaning business. Okay.
Let me break the numbers down for you because I don't think people understand. Okay. I charged $85 a month to clean the pool. The reason I chose that number was that we tested on my brother's pool how much does it cost him. It cost him about $95 to take care of it himself. Okay. And I realized if I went and got the industrial account and I bought everything in bulk, I could do it for $85 a month. And it probably cost me a lot less than that. But the point was, I set myself up that I was cheaper to have it done by me than for you to do it yourself. Who's going to say no to that?
Exactly.
But here's where the magic is. They averaged about $1,000 per year per pool. Okay. So if I cleaned 50 pools, I made $50K on just the cleaning. We are not counting maintenance, and maintenance is where all the money is. All right. So what I would do is I would get to about 50 pools, and then I'd put them together where the route was good, and then I would bring on a guy from high school. And I'd have him clean those, and I'd go build another 50 pools. Do you see what I mean? Now I'm doing 100. Now I'm doing 100,000 at 100 pools. Okay. And then I got 2 or 3 guys covering that. I'm paying them 15-ish an hour, 12-ish an hour. They're super happy. Cleaning pools is not hard, bro. But then all I did was they did the cleaning and they bounced the pH. All I did was repairs only. So there was like 3 types of filters. There was sand filter, right? Then there's salt filter, which you never really have to do anything with. There's a DE filter. And what I would do, the DE filter, you'd pull it out. That's diatomaceous earth is what it's called. You'd pull it out, and all I did was spray it down because it just got caked up. And I put it back in the filter. I charge $199 to do that.
Damn. Good flip.
You know what I'm saying?
And you don't even replace the filter.
No. If I replaced the filter, they were paying for that too. You see what I'm saying? And then you see those little vacuums that drive around, or those ones that are like octopus that suck to the wall. The ones that drive around with the wheels, they have this little O-ring that goes out like every 3 months. It cost me for a bag of 99 cents. I charged them $10 for it. For one O-ring because I put it in there. The labor was about 4 minutes. But you got to remember, I'm saving them $10 a month by me cleaning it. They're not looking at that maintenance cost. They don't care. They still think they're saving money using me. Do you see what I'm saying? Then we had acid washes. Depends on how dirty you want to get. I don't think you should be too up in them chemicals, but I mean, I was hitting them over the head like $3.99. And we were saying, get your pool summer ready, because you know Arizona gets blazing hot. Get your pool summer ready. Acid wash. That means we're draining that, scraping it down with all the acid, getting everything out of it. Bam, refilling that pool. $3.99. That was a day's worth of work. But I got that annually on every pool as you built it up. Do you see what I'm saying? So then here was my lick on that. Once I got over 150 pools or so where you can't really take care of them and you get this, I started selling off groups of them. So I would say, hey, who wants the Scottsdale neighborhood? Everyone wants Scottsdale neighborhood because they knew they had money, right? So I would sell them 50 pools for 50 grand because I would say, hey, they're worth 1,000. So I would just sell that off and build another 50. It's a great business, bro. It's a great business. And then if you want to get, like if I had a son right now, I'd start him in that. But then if you want to not be there, you can have someone take your place. It's like a manager, pay them 35,000 a year, right? 40, because it's just gonna be a young kid. And honestly, I'm sure you use QuickBooks in your business. You don't even have to do nothing. It prints out their payroll for you. You come home and it prints out their payroll. So you could do all that from wherever. And I mean, nowadays, just direct deposit it. You don't even have to be around.
So what you're basically saying is start like a small business, right? Get it up and running, and then automate that business. Get somebody in there to manage it, and then that frees you up to be able to spend a lot of time overseas. And that's very true because I know a brother that owns like 10 barbershops in New York, and he stays overseas. He's always traveling.
Well, people you will always find that dude that's like the workhorse. He likes to have responsibility. Bring him on, pay him well, leave him alone. That's the thing leave him alone.
Facts.
Leave him alone, and he'll run it fine. If you micromanage him, then he don't feel like it's his. You got a problem. Leave him alone.
You know what? That's very true. I noticed that how when I was working back in the day, you would work with like managers. They would always say little terms like our company or our, like they would take ownership, even though they didn't really have ownership, just the terminology. They would always say us, we, our, like it was their
best
company.
leaders, the best leaders.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, those guys are assets. Pay attention to them. Pay them well. Give them the recognition. Answer the phone when they call because they doing everything for you, man. They don't call you that much anyways. I was one of those guys. I never called my manager. He hated that. You know what I mean? But when I wanted to leave, he bent over backwards trying to keep me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying leave him alone. I know how that works. Okay, now if you also have a little bit of money, there's products called they're called SaaS companies. You do some of those. There's software as a service, okay? SaaS. You can buy these. You can buy some built. I recommend doing that if you're not tech savvy. I recommend buying one. There's sites like flippa.com, FLIPPA.com, and then there's one called Acquire, AQUIRE.com. Flippa is much less money. Acquire got $100,000 and up type stuff. And really you can find, okay, bro, I found someone, I should have bought it. He only wanted $160,000 for this. Okay. And this guy had a travel agency app. Basically what he did was he had worked out something with booking.com and all those guys. He'd worked out something with them and they white labeled it. So the people could search on here for whatever they wanted and book it, but you could become a travel agent on the site. So you could request a travel agent and then you could do all the bookings and get the commission yourself for the other people. He charged the travel agents $40 a month to be a travel agent on there and use the technology. Do the math. You just get 1,000 of them. You got $40,000 a month. That was stupid. I don't know why I didn't even buy that. That was just stupid. That was just dumb. Especially because I got dudes that'll write checks. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have grabbed that one. But that one I found on Flippa. Acquire got big boy stuff on there, man. So check that out too. Okay, so now let's go down a notch where people just don't got money. Okay. If you have a skill, okay. If you have a skill, teach it and use online products to teach it. There's all kinds of stuff. I almost swore, sorry. Teachable.com. There's all kinds of things out there that have formats that you can go in and teach them. And so like life coach, I mean, we're probably not the best life coaches, but if you are life coach, I mean, we're life coaching right now. Do you know what I'm saying? But then like nutrition. Okay. The reason I'm bringing up nutrition is I used a nutritionist once, and he's called King of Kings Nutritional Fitness out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. if he gets a whole bunch of, I better tell him because your boys be going after stuff that I say. Homie's doing $1 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
And he calls you for like 15 minutes. And he puts together your micros and macros. He puts it in an Excel spreadsheet. He has you eat to it and like work out if you want. He just figures out what you want to work out. When I used him, I lost like 20 pounds, bro. And I'm telling you, he made it like cake for us dummies. Cake for us dummies. But the thing is, sorry, my coder's blowing me up. But the thing is like you can, if you are a fitness person and you understand nutrition, the reason all of us ain't there is because we don't understand nutrition. Nutrition is the hardest part. So if they know that, man, I bought a software because I want to make a product around this myself. And this one's for recipes, really. But what it'll do is like all the trainers can put their recipes in there so people can like, make their own. And because I want some diversity. Most of these nutrition guys, it's like the same old thing. But after you lose the weight or whatever, you don't want to do that no more. And if anyone's a fitness person, there is so many apps out there that you can become a fitness coach of your own and your own following and charge a monthly. There's a girl that I know right now. She's baddie too. If you want to look up her app, it's called Brides and Barbells.
And Barbells. Okay.
Yeah, she kind of specializes in girls that want to get fit before they get married. Right? She's a baddie though. I've known her for 15 years. But her app, she was just telling me like she just finally got her app through the App Store. Yeah, the App Store. We don't want to talk about that. That's a rough world, man. But yeah, she's got that. So if anybody that's got any fitness, anything, and here's the thing. You don't have to be the most ripped guy. So one thing I really want these guys to understand about markets and how I make money, I sell to the masses, meaning most people are average fitness and below. So if you're up there and you about to swag and your ego again, and you only put in advanced programs, nobody's buying it. They can't do that stuff. But if you do a transformation in front of them, or you have something very beginner, very easy for them, they're buying it. Because in their mind, they have to be able to see that they can do it. Does that make sense? If they feel like they can do it, they'll buy it. So if they want a model, there's a guy that I used. How am I blanking his name? He was only selling his fitness programs for like $60, $65. He just bought a $4 million house in LA.
Okay.
And my guy that does media buying for me now does the media buying for him. It'll probably come back to me later. I'll have you guys look him up. He's annoying as hell, arrogant as hell, but it doesn't matter. People are buying his stuff. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, so here's another thing. There are some talented, I gave you business-minded people. Artistic-minded people struggle with business sometimes.
Facts.
So there's a couple things that I know that you could do. I'm going to give you some really street hustle hacks, okay? This one's kind of nice. Look up the company Printify. Any artistic person at all whatsoever can make any graphics they want on hoodies, t-shirts, leggings, socks, whatever, okay? You do not have to own inventory. You do not. They have complete suite on there for you to do all your graphics, just like you really own the place. And they will do a print on demand and order. Meaning, so what happens is you make your little graphic, like let's say BMT, you put all this stuff up. You put the store with them, okay? People see that, and then when they buy it, then they print it and ship it. So you don't even have to carry the inventory at all. And you don't have to do the shipping, and that's like the part we hate the most.
Facts.
And like this guy's saying, who's this woke quill? You could do all your designs on AI all day. All day.
Merchandising and e-commerce. I know well about that. That's very true.
Yeah. But Printify is really good. I mean, they got socks. They got like all over print. Like you could do a hoodie that has a print all the way 360. No, not just in one little square. Like you could do really good stuff. Okay, now I have on here. Okay, now this is where I'm getting into some of the hack stuff. Okay.
Okay, got you.
Anybody that's got responsible and has good credit, sell your credit.
Okay.
Sell your credit. So if you're in there, if you're in that 700, 750 range, go get that Amex Platinum, go get that JP Morgan Pace, and contact those companies so that you can put people on your credit as authorized users. But don't give them a card. Don't give them a card. So they can't spend anything. It just shows up on their credit. So
Trade
you
lines.
help them with their credit. Yes. Yes. I mean, some people are sitting on that, don't even know they can do it. And if you got one of these ones that's got like $50,000-$60,000 line of credit and you've had it for 3 or 4 years, you're getting like 3 bands for that. So I mean, that's a free hack. Now, this is what I did to get started abroad. Okay, I leased my T-Mobile cellular phone lines. So T-Mobile, when they changed their business model to no longer contracts. Remember, my first business ages ago was the pool cleaning company. I opened my cell phone under that tax ID number. When I went to get a new phone, when I had a little bit of money, I was like, how much credit do I have to get a phone? And she's like, Mr. Brown, you have $50,600. I was like, what do I need $50,000 for? Right. I was like, how many products can you buy for one line? She's like, actually, you are approved for 300 lines. And I was like, okay, hold on. How much are these lines? Because I knew there was no contract. I was getting them for $15-$20 a line with all my corporate benefits on it. So I, at the time, knew nothing but flight attendants and pilots and rampers. And they were doing that go-go. T-Mobile was doing that go-go where you got the internet on the plane. I was flipping those lines to everybody and giving them a SIM card for $60 because, T-Mobile was $85 to have a line yourself. So I was flipping it for $60, but giving them all the perks that came with that line. Well, do the math. So my margin was $40, 40 times 300 lines, but I didn't. I had like 198 lines. What's the math on that? I was doing like $7K a month. So peep this, okay? What I was worried about a little bit was like, oh, what if they need a lot of things? Think about your own cell phone. How many times have you really called your cell phone carrier?
Not many.
Never.
Right.
So if I had 1 or 2 calls, whatever, and it's totally protected. They can't call T-Mobile without your password and all this. They can't do anything. Now, my billing, I did through Square. Square does free invoicing. And then what made it sick, what made it crazy, was you cannot pay with Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. You cannot pay with your fingerprint. How? They are billion-dollar companies. With Square, I was able to send them a text or an email, and they could just, bam, scan their fingerprint, pay their bill.
Okay.
And on top of that, what's cool with Square is like if I were to open it right now and go through it, everyone that's behind is super bright red. I know who's paid and who hasn't paid. Right? And then I learned over time to build in late fees and stuff like that. And then what's cool with T-Mobile is when you get up to that level of lines, and you can do this with 15 lines, whatever you want to do, okay? But they allow you to go in the back office and suspend their line. You can. And let me tell you, that one person that always wants to push the limit, the second you suspend them, they magically have money every time. I have suspended a guy before, and 10 minutes later, my phone was like, bling, so-and-so has paid his bill. No, dude, I don't know if people understand. People cannot live without their cell phones, man. They can't do it. They can't do it.
It's impossible.
They can't do it, bro. So if you pull over all these people that are on Boost and like all these prepaids and you put them on full-fledged T-Mobile with a prepaid setup, they're on it. They're game. They're game.
Man, you dropping some heat. You dropping some heat today.
Yeah,
you dropping some heat.
They're game. Okay, so here's another one. This is a little bit, okay, now I'm getting into the sexy things, okay?
Okay.
So hopefully people really took me serious on the cash flow and the unsexy. The unsexy businesses are consistent. I'm telling you, it's not going to be, it's not going to be cool to say, yeah, I own a bunch of mailboxes to some chick, but they're so consistent that you can be gone and never worry about if you can make your little 3,000 or 4,000 a month to live where you want. You never have to worry about it ever. Okay, so I really am pushing those. I know they're not sexy, and I know how we are. We want that sexy stuff. Get one of those and then play with the sexy stuff. Just trust me, your life would be so much easier. Now, I did a Turo hack. Okay, so I'm gonna give the formula. If you can qualify to get a loan on a car, don't buy one. Buy like 10. And I know people are like, what do you mean? What people don't know is the way that the credit works is you don't go to the dealership and have them run your credit. You go to your bank or you go to your credit union, you have them pull the credit report and you show up with the credit report. Then that they see that you're qualified. Once they see that you're qualified, and they can verify that with the bank, they approve you for the car, that and then you get a car on your account, it doesn't show up for 30 days. So you're taking a fresh credit to every dealership and getting another car. And they just think that's the first car. Once they all hit and you got 12 cars, they're not going to give you another car. Okay. But here is the most important. If you're going to play that game, do not go buy 12 Corvettes. Don't go buy 12 Lambos, whatever you do. Get on the Uber or get on the calculator on Turo for your city and find out what does the best on rentals. If that means you're buying 12 Camrys, that means you're buying 12 Camrys. Okay. But find out what does the best on rentals for you, because you don't want to carry those notes that you can't pay. Carry notes that you can pay. Now, when you make good money from that or any of your other businesses and you want a swag out car, I had a BMW i8 2019 Roadster, the only year they made the drop top, right? Had Lambo doors on it and everything. And I had my S550, but I never put that on there. But here's the thing that you want to do when you get into those types of cars. You want to become one of one. And what that means is you do something to make it different than every other car that's on there. I wrapped them. Okay. So I wrapped the i8 military green. That thing was nasty. Actually, my buddy that I took over the payments from my buddy, actually, and he had wrapped it right before I got it. But it was nasty, bro. And that thing, and the reason I'm saying that is because if you don't do that, what people are going to do is look at the price, look at the years, look at the miles, and take the newest with the least amount of miles. That's what they're going to go for every time. You see what I'm saying? So what ends up happening, I'm not talking about flipping cars. This cash flow hustle. I'm not talking about flipping cars. I'm talking about renting cars.
Okay, let me read that real quick. He says, gotta have a dealer license for that. Then he says, flipping cars, gotta eventually get a dealer's license or use someone else's.
That's if you're flipping. License. That's if you're flipping. I'm not selling them. I'm buying them, keeping them, putting them on Turo, and renting them.
Okay. So just to clarify for everybody. Okay.
Yeah, flipping cars, he's correct on flipping cars. You do have to do that. Or if you want to flip cars, you try to get, like, if you buy them from someone personally, just try not to put your name on the title and have them hold it until you flip the car, if that makes sense. Because some of the states have a certain amount of cars you can sell per year.
Yeah, Georgia. I used to flip cars. So yeah, Georgia has like I think like 5 a year or something like that.
Yeah. But
well, it used to be. This is back in the early 2000s.
But back to the one of one. The reason I'm saying the one of one, meaning there were no green military wrapped i8 convertibles. Okay. And so the reason I'm saying that is if somebody has a 2020 and I had a 2019, but mine looks badass, which one are they taking? That's how I mitigate the miles and the years. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's the sexy hack. So if you want to have one sick car, and the cool thing with that was I drove my car. I rented it during the weekends and I drove it during the week. And I never paid the note. The note was like $2,500 on that thing, bro. Damn. And I never paid the note. And I rented only weekends, except for once in a while I get some rich guy that wanted it for like 9 days. Of course, I'm gonna give it to him for 9 days and paid the whole note. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I never had to make a payment, even insurance, even repairs, nothing. It was all literally covered.
Okay.
Okay, and then let's see, what else do I got on here? Okay, so here is something that I learned from my buddy. I know Airbnb is a good game, but there's a better way to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of getting multiple units, and there's a lot of learning curve, like don't just rent one day because someone can rent a Wednesday and ruin your whole week and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
My buddy changed over and he said, I only rent to commercial businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So people that come in for conferences and do commercial deals, he says, since it's a tax write-off for them, many times they'll overpay because they need the tax write-off more.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
They need the tax write-off more, and they treat your stuff amazingly. And so he's like, I only need 2 or 3 properties, and I make as much as these guys that have 20 properties. But yes, your furnishings have to be off the charts. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I like smart and efficient. I'm a quality over quantity guy. So that really resonated with me. But I was already onto my tech thing. So I was kind of like out of here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the last 2 I have is YouTube. Okay. A couple of the successful YouTube people, and you're probably one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned, I'm sure you've learned that a longer YouTube is better for you because
Mm-hmm.
you get more commercials, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. He dropped some gems today.
Right. The magic number, if you're not as good as Aaron and can get like a 2-hour podcast, is 10 minutes. You get 2 ads in 10 minutes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the magic number. And then so you're getting double paid on one YouTube. And the highest paying ads are tech and money. Money's the highest, tech's next, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one I have on here that I don't think anyone's thought about, just a regular old blog, man. If you're just a regular, they make dumb money because
blogs.
Yes. And let me tell you the hack. Let me tell you why. And you'll probably start doing this. Mm-hmm. Don't do one of those Wix Squarespace space. It's got to be like a straight up WordPress or something like that where you have your own domain name. Mm-hmm. Because the ad companies are wanting to see the traffic. If you go through Wix and Squarespace and Wix is getting the traffic, not you. At least by the pixel. You know how they measure by pixels, right? So on the pixel measure, if you have your own domain and you run a blog and then you run like email add people on with email type thing, you only got to get about 30,000 views a month. And that just means they kind of clicked on it. And then you're opened up to all the ad agencies. And then you just start putting ads on your stuff. And these ads are like $50K for a 1 week run, whatever. You know, and the metrics behind the ad agencies is they spend money, they tax write off, all that. It doesn't matter. They got dumb money for that kind of stuff. But you just, obviously you got to have a direction and it's going to take a little bit of time. But a blog, you know, it's cheap. And you know, with like WordPress, you can get templates for like $75, right? That are like $100,000 websites, like wild stuff. Change it up a little bit so it doesn't look like someone else's if they buy that. And you just write about it, like travel blog. Come on, bro. Literally, like you might not even have to go. You could travel blog all of your people's stuff. Do you see what I mean? You can talk about this right here, and then you can just put me and a couple pictures and all that type of stuff if you want to do that. So that's for people that really just don't got the money, but they want to get started. I know a girl that's doing $30,000 a month, and she did that straight out of college. And I checked out her blog. I would never read that thing, bro, but I know girls would. And she talks about stupid stuff, bro, like how to flirt with a guy and blah blah blah. But women, they eat that stuff up.
You know what's funny, man? All this stuff started originally from a blog. I had a blog called Black Men Travels. And I said, okay, how do I get traffic? Let me start a Facebook group. And I said, well, damn, how do I get traffic to the Facebook group? Let me start a YouTube channel. You know, so it all works the same. So you're absolutely right, man. You're giving a lot of good information. So much so, I got a question here. Here we go. From John Robert. He says, can I get a consultation? Can I buy a consultation for this commercial mailboxes? I want to know much more. So do you do consultations?
I do them, but I think there's better people than me. In all honesty, for unsexy businesses, there's a YouTube by a chick named Cody Sanchez.
Cody Sanchez, okay.
Let me make sure I'm giving the right name. This chick is multi-millionaire from these unsexy businesses, and she's gotten very popular. I mean, I guess I could have used that to make me some money, but honestly, I want you guys to have quality stuff. And she breaks down the way to look at things, the mentality to have around it, and how to do the negotiations and all that stuff. Now, if her consultation will be wild. So if you can't figure it out from her, then yes, if you need someone that can like walk you through doing the deal, I'll do that. If they're ready for that. Does that make sense? Yeah,
Right.
Cody Sanchez. Yep, Cody Sanchez. So
Cody Sanchez.
you can follow her on any of the social medias. She also has her own website. But try that first. And then if they just can't seem to figure out how to do the deal, then have them DM me. I can walk them through the deal. I can walk them through the psychology of the sale, how to approach it, soft close, hard close, all that stuff. I can walk them through how to get the person selling it to you to close the deal instead of you close the deal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and what's your Instagram?
Thomas B as in boy 32. And it has me sitting on the little here, I'll pull it up on this phone. Actually, I can do it right here, huh? Has me, I think I'm in Thailand on that one.
Is this a tag right here? Hold on. Is that it?
That's it. Yeah, that's
Okay.
it. I don't know if there's more Thomas B32s. Our Instagram doesn't let you do that, right?
Right. You should have a unique one.
Okay, yeah. So it's just, I guess I can't even go look. Yeah, here's my. If you want to see the picture, I can close this. Is this showing it right here?
Yep, I see it. We see it.
Yeah.
Lucky on James. What's that? James Bond Island?
No, that's it's kind of close to James Bond Island. I'm over in you know that's Thailand, right? That's PP Island. I think we were sitting in that bay right after Monkey Island, that bay right there.
Okay. So this was a great stream, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and I keep my streams like around an hour long. I don't want to make them too long. He dropped a lot of good information. I like the fact that you focused on the businesses first, because most guys, look for remote jobs, and that's cool. But you was basically saying, start a business, start a small business, automate that business, hire somebody, right? And then that opens you up to kind of live the lifestyle that you want, basically.
Yeah, dude, I can't get over your stream. Could you see that flash in the background? Every second, that's people adding me right now. Every time I do your stream, it's like bling, 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 bling.
Right.
Yeah, no, I really want people to have the life, man. I really do. I feel like if these people can understand that they have complete control of their life and freedom to kind of design it however they want, I think that's better for the family unit, period. You know what I mean? I mean, if you are a happy, healthy, balanced, mature, masculine man, and then you realize that you can take care of yourself, you're going to select better, you'll choose a girl better, you pick the right girl, you build the right family, you are changing the world at the core. At the core. And so that's, to me, there's abundance. There's plenty. Dude, I've been.
Uh-oh, we lost him. He coming back. There we go. We lost you for a second, but you back. But we don't have no audio. Hold on. Yeah, come back in. All right, folks, we're going to end up ending the show. Hopefully he'll come back in for a second, but this is a really good show. I'm also going to do another show later on in the evening, my Sunday rundown, which would be a Monday rundown now. Let's see if we can get it back in here. There we go.
Dang it, I was about to tell you something really good too. Oh, I used to do phone cases. I used to do phone cases, and I kind of had my own, or I did Amazon, right? And I would just print custom cases, but I was doing sick stuff like Tupac, 50 Cent, whatever, until I got one of them cease and desists, right?
Yeah, you know what's coming.
But I was murdering the game with that. The only reason I didn't mess with that so much was I don't like to sit and pack and ship all day. That is not for me. The money was there. The money was great, but that would be hard to travel unless you paid someone to pack and ship all day long. And then Amazon, I don't know if anyone's used Amazon warehouse services. When you use their setup, you have to pay them for that space that you have and that's kind of why I picked, cell phone cases, was because it didn't take up a lot of space and I could fit a lot more in a space, because you got to pay for that, whether there's stuff in there or not. But then it got difficult for me per se, because Samsung has how many different kinds of phones, and Apple had 2 or 3. So it was just too hard for me to keep it all. I'm not saying don't do it. I just like certain things now that has like one size. You know what I mean?
Good point. And I got a real good question for you to end the show. I'm gonna read this comment real quick, because it kind of leads into the last question I want to ask. John Roberts says, a good show idea, BMT, is how to move money around the world, to finance deals around the world, how to deal with foreign banks, etc. Now,
that's a tough one, bro.
In your opinion, is it worth actually starting a business overseas versus starting a business in the States? Now, my thing is, yes, in certain cases it is. Like, I would definitely do Airbnbs overseas. Yeah. But I've seen a lot of businesses struggle. I got a lot of guys that have businesses. And my thing is, I don't want pesos. You know what I'm saying? I don't want baht. I want American dollars. So that's
the key.
What do you think?
That's the key. Like Airbnb in places with American tourists, London tourists, and then charge American dollars. And you're going to price out other people, but that's not who you want. Okay. Now, for the most part, I think they should pay attention to Revolut, N26, those fintech banks. Okay. So you don't necessarily need to have a bank account abroad if you have those. They allow you to make purchases in like 160 currencies. They do conversions for free. You just load them.
This the man. You be dropping them gems. Hold on, name them again.
Revolut.com. They're the leader in the game.
Okay.
And they're about to get their UK banking license, which is going to make them untouchable. Okay. But really, it's a fintech. So it's like a debit card that has all kinds of perks on it. And you can get and what I like about Revolut is they give you a virtual one, they give you a hard copy one, and you can do hard copy different levels like platinum. You could have a metal card, and they have different perks, but they also give you unlimited virtual cards. So if you're worried about getting your stuff hacked, you just use a virtual card. It changes the card number every time you use it. It's unhackable. Okay. But what's cool about it is you just load the card from your debit card. You can do it from your phone or your bank. Okay. With whatever you want on it, and then you can use it anywhere. And because right here where I'm at in Malaysia, for some reason my bank flags everything, bro. When I use a Revolut card, no problem. It works. Everything works all the time. And it has a beautiful app. And if you get in the certain levels of it, you can get travel insurance if you book it through the card. So it's literally just transferring the money onto the card, book your trip, and now you have travel insurance. Okay, by using Revolut. Also, with Revolut, you will get, if you have a delayed flight, they'll give you a voucher to go in the lounges. Like, I'm telling you, this stuff is crazy. N26 is more for those advanced guys that are into Web3 and crypto and all that mess. N26 does what Revolut does, not as good, but it does enough. But they do a lot of crypto, a lot of that type of thing. Revolut just came out with Revolut Business, which I think you will find very attractive for yourself. So they have a reader now, like Square does, where you can carry it in your pocket, and you can either put the chip in it, tap it, or swipe the card anywhere in the world. And it just runs through the Bluetooth on your phone. So let's say you're out and somebody wants one of your BMT hoodies, and you're like, they got, I got pesos or whatever. You'd be like, no, just give me the card. Yeah, Revolut is wild. I love Revolut.
Okay.
And they just landed a big deal, and they just put out Revolut 10.0, which has crazy stuff in it, man. And Revolut is free. Okay. If you want the other perks, then you pay monthly for premium or metal. I use metal because I move around a lot. And so I like that I can just transfer the money and book my flight through Revolut, and then I got travel insurance. through Revolut. And it's just a company they partnered with. If you look, through the information, but yeah, they're bomb. And you know what? That's a great segue to the very last part of thing that I was going to talk to you about. If these guys are savvy and they want to jump into something, I learned a lot here in Malaysia from my real estate agent, because I was like, so you're from Nigeria, but you're doing business here. How does that work? Because in Barcelona, you got to have an NIE and all this stuff, and you're on 25% tax rate and all this crap. You know what I mean? Or in Thailand, you keep buying Airbnb. What's the point? You don't own the land, like all kinds of stuff, right? So whenever they go to the country, spend some time and learn the government. So what I ended up, these things happened on accident. So the owner of this place, okay, he's a Chinese guy or Singapore guy, okay? And my real estate agent runs it for him as Airbnb, long-term, short-term, or hotel. He runs it in that way, okay? So what happened was one day the management knocks on my door and they're like, "Are you the owner?" But I was like, "No." And they're like, "You're renting?" I'm like, "Yeah." They hand me a paper, and it's the taxes that this owner had to pay on this property for 6 months. It was 400 ringgit. That's $20, bro.
Wow.
That's why you see all these badass buildings everywhere.
Oh, hold on. You gotta give us a view before you go again, too.
You want to see it? All right,
yeah,
look,
man.
hold on. I'll walk up to the window. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. Petronas Towers. And I'm up here, bro, 40th floor. But so this is what I pieced together, because I was like, man, if I stay here, I'm going to do this myself. So take a little bit of everything I said and put it all together. So you get a parking space with your unit, okay? I told you guys this place is like Crazy Rich Asians. You see Lambo trucks, you see Raris out there, you see McLarens, probably the most McLaren. So people want these things here. So this is what I also learned this from a guy that was in Tempe, Arizona, by the college. In high rise like this, okay? This is a super hack I'm going to give. If someone does this, they're going to love life, okay? If they go somewhere and they're going to stay for a while, like let's say they sign a year lease, I would do this. He explained to me here in Malaysia, to get a license to work here, have a Malaysian person open it. They'll sign it over to you for a certain dollar amount. Once it's signed over to you, it's yours. Okay. So that's how he's able to run his real estate. And I've got looking at his situation. I got looking at how dope our buildings are and what we have. And I'm like, why aren't you throwing events here? Right. And he's like, yeah, I should talk to because like we have a Top Boss restaurant called Pampas down by the pool, by the 6th floor Olympic pool. And I made a deal for him. And I talked to the owner or the manager and I said, hey, can we throw a barbecue here? And so all we're going to do is get one of them TVs and roll it out there, throw a barbecue, because he has 200 units in the building. So why doesn't he tell everybody? Right. And I was like, just do American food. They suck at American food here. People are going to love getting regular American food. And then if they want anything extra, since we're doing it on the outside, because they have seating on the outside of Pampas by the pool. If they want cocktails, all that stuff, let Pampas do it. So you're helping him out too. Soccer's huge here. So we throw a big soccer game, everybody, and people want to socialize. And I already know how the guys talk. They're like, yo, I seen this European girl. I need to know who she is. You're already facilitating all that. Do you see what I mean? But here's where the big kicker is. Get your license. And I'm assuming you do this in other countries because he obviously pulled this off. And I watch him. When we go out, he'll pay for our night of $200 and say nothing. And I know ringgits are not even near dollars. So I'm like, he must be doing something, right? So what I did was I made a deal with him because I might want to go to Barcelona, but I got a 6-month lease here. So I'm willing to pay my 6 months, but let him short-term Airbnb it while I'm gone.
Okay.
He jumped on that because he's already making money off of my deal. And I'm turning around and saying, I'm going to be gone for a few months. Go ahead, because I see his phone blow up every day. And someone needs a place for a day or 2 days or a week or a month. Use mine. So he's getting his commission. He's getting his monthly commission off of my sale plus his day-to-day sale. Of course he said yes. Okay. But if you want to come here and do this yourself, this is what I would say. Make a deal like that. Go and figure out and work a deal with the dealership and get a badass whip. and rent that car out and park it in the parking lot here or wherever the building is. Okay. Now you're the full service. You give them the transportation for expats or whoever. You give them the transportation when they come, and they rent your car and they rent the place. Done deal. Now you've got a crazy fat whip that you can drive when you want, take it on or off your calendar, do what you want. Since they don't have Turo out here, you're doing it yourself. And there's no law around it. There's not a problem. I already looked into all this. That's why I was like, if I don't go back to Barcelona, guess who will be doing all that? Guess where you're going to get your Lambo from when you come to KL? Your boy right here. Guess where you're going to – I'm going to partner with him, and we're going to lock down Tropicana, all this stuff here.
You know what? We used to have shout out to my dude Dante. Actually, happy birthday to my dude Dante. Do you know Dante at a Golden Tiger Bar in Thailand, Pattaya?
No, I didn't go out to Pattaya. I kind of stayed stuck in Bangkok.
Okay, well, shout out to him. He's actually having a birthday today, but he has weekly meetings for guys to kind of meet up and try to brainstorm ideas for different businesses out there in Thailand, right? And one of those ideas was something similar to what you're saying.
If for Bangkok, this is a deal I was working on. If they want to partner with me, I would be open to this. My guy was the GM of Whiskars, okay, in Soy 30. I don't know, but it's like a New York style cigar lounge. Beautiful. He designed it and everything. He went off. He got a job paying double, but he's not happy with it. His dream is to own a cigar lounge. He's already got Performa, everything put together. We were gonna raise money and try to open one in Scottsdale. It was like $3 million. And I was like, ooh, I don't trust myself enough that I can make that kind of money from a cigar lounge, you know what I mean, in the States. So I asked him, I was like, how much does all this cost? Because this guy had done everything you saw, all the building, everything. He said it was, the number he told me after all was said and done was about $400,000 US dollars. And that included 1 year's worth of salary for the staff and inventory.
Got you.
Come on, bro. And there, since they pay more for the import of the cigars, people are willing to pay that because the cost of living is so low. So he showed me his numbers, and he was doing, they're netting around 10, 11,000-ish a month. But I don't know how the laws are there, but the write-off game on that, if you put it under an LLC, is stupid. Do you know what I mean? It's stupid. If you put it under an American LLC, it's stupid. Like, you writing off all that.
Excellent.
If you got some guys that got six figures or something, they want to go in with me, I'm looking at that one pretty serious. Because you can do meetings in there, and you can write off the space and the time for the meetings, and he's got the cigar buyers. He'll run it. And I mean, this guy needs nobody. He's got such a passion for it. He'll run it. He even knows how to circumvent the laws on the shisha. Shisha's supposed to be illegal there. But, in Thailand, anything that's illegal is huge. You know what I mean?
Facts. And I have a couple of cigar guys, too. I can shoot your way when you need cigars, like when you get to stop.
Well, I looked into that because I wanted certain cigars, but they got brokers there, and it's regulated just like everywhere else. But I mean, dude, they running live music through there. It feels like you in a New York lounge. It's sick, bro. It's sick.
This is in Bangkok?
This is in Bangkok. Yeah, it's called Whiskars, like whiskey and cigars. It's called Whiskars. And you'll see nothing but expats in that bad boy. You know what I mean? I'm in KL, my guy. I'm in Kuala Lumpur. Edward Lawler. What's up, dog? So I'm in Malaysia. But yeah, man.
Well,
yeah, dude, man. This was good. I wanted to kind of get this out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I know they've been hitting you up, blowing up your phone. So it's good we did this show because I'm pretty sure you answered some of the questions the guys were asking you in your DMs.
Yeah. And let them say if they want. I got some wild travel hacks, man. I think you guys are paying at least a third too much for your travel right now. I think I can show them wild, crazy ways to live large for not spend a ton of money. So if they want that, comment on here, and then we'll see. Like, if Aaron wants to do another one, we'll do another one on travel hacks. But I've been at it for 10 years. I know all the little transitions, just like you said. I knew that you got to buy groceries right away when you get to the Airbnb. Like I got unlimited little things like that make your life very, very, very nice.
Facts. Well, once again, brother, appreciate you coming on the show, man. Till next time.
Man, I appreciate it. All right, holla at me.
All right, peace.
Deuce.
Y'all haven't downloaded the app yet? Y'all go download the Passportbros app, man. Shout out to BMT. Shout out to the Passportbros, man. This is something special. Everybody should get on it. We got our own social network now.
All right, man, look, I don't know, y'all missing out, man. Look, if you want any information, if you want to be a part of a community, be a part of like a brotherhood, man, and people watch out for you, whereas entrepreneurs, YouTubers, or anything you really want to get into, man, y'all need to download that app, man, Passportbros.
Only Passportbros app, download it, BMC, dropping a platform for everybody to be social on. So get that, copy that.
All right, man, it's your boy Average Man Unplugged. Make sure you hit the Passportbro app. We got all our content on there. We got our own network now, you guys, all right? So go check that out, man. Passportbro app. Make sure you download it.